What if the next Superman wasn't a Hollywood legend, but a guy most people couldn't name 6 months ago? David Corenswet didn't explode onto the scene. He drifted into it, quietly, subtly. A stage kid turned Netflix lead, turned unexpected heir to the Cape. No huge franchise, no tabloid chaos. Just a string of roles that flew under the radar, until they didn't. Now he's set to become one of the most iconic characters in cinema history. But how did he get here? Why him? And why are fans so divided? This is the untold rise of David Corenswet, the man behind the Cape. Long before he ever stepped into a cape, David Corenswet was learning how to command a stage. Born in Philadelphia on July 8, 1993, Corenswet grew up with storytelling in his blood. His father was a stage actor turned lawyer, and that theatrical spark clearly passed down. By the time most kids were still figuring out cursive, Corenswet was already performing Shakespeare and Chekhov. He landed his first professional acting gig at age 9, diving headfirst into classic theatre roles with a focus and intensity that felt years beyond his age. He wasn't just dabbling in acting, he was immersed in it. After high school, he enrolled at the University of Pennsylvania, but something pulled him further into the craft. He transferred to Juilliard, arguably the most competitive performing arts school in the US, and graduated in 2016, polished, trained, and ready for the next chapter. But the spotlight didn't find him overnight, because for the next few years, Corenswet was grinding hard, and almost no one was watching. Before red carpets and reboots, Corenswet was just a guy with a camera and a dream. At 18, he wrote and starred in a short film called Following Chase. It wasn't a breakout hit, but it was his first taste of what it meant to build something from scratch. He wasn't waiting for Hollywood to call. He was creating his own calling card. Then came Mo and Jerry Weather, a goofy, self-produced YouTube sketch series he ran from 2014 to 2016. The production quality was low, but the work ethic was sky high. The sketches revealed a surprising gift for comedy and character work, hinting at a range most people wouldn't see until years later. It was all hustle. No fame, no spotlight, no instant payoff. But every sketch, every short, every missed audition, it all added up to something. Because while some actors wait for the perfect role, Corenswet was building toward it, brick by brick. And that foundation, it finally paid off, in a way no one saw coming. By 2018, the work was starting to pay off, quietly but unmistakably. Corenswet landed his first lead film role in Affairs of State, a political thriller where he played a young congressional aide caught in a web of sex, secrets, and betrayal. It wasn't a blockbuster, but it gave casting directors something new, proof that he could carry a feature film. His on-screen presence was undeniable, sharp, composed, and quietly intense. But the real turning point came a year later. In 2019, Corenswet was cast in The Politician, a buzzy new Netflix series from Ryan Murphy. He played River Barkley, a sensitive, enigmatic high schooler whose storyline was anything but simple. The role was nuanced, emotional, and haunting, and it made people look twice. Audiences took notice. Hollywood started whispering. He wasn't just another pretty face. He had depth, the kind you don't fake. And just when people started asking, who is this guy? He leveled up again. In 2020, David Corenswet wasn't just in another Netflix show. He was the show. Hollywood, a glossy, alternate history drama from Ryan Murphy, cast Corenswet as Jack Costello, a World War II vet chasing movie star dreams in post-war Los Angeles. But this wasn't just another pretty boy period piece. It was raw, emotional, and ambitious. And so was he. Jack wasn't a perfect character. He made bad choices. He wrestled with ego, shame, and desperation. And Corenswet played every note with a level of subtlety that caught people off guard. Critics praised his range, charisma, and control. But what most people didn't realize, Corenswet wasn't just starring, he was also executive producing. At just 26, he stepped behind the camera, shaping the tone and direction of a major Netflix production. That move said more than any line he delivered. He wasn't here just to act. He was here to build something bigger. It was the kind of breakout moment actors dream about, and it should have launched him into the A-list immediately. But instead of soaring, things went strangely quiet. After Hollywood, everything should have exploded. Instead, it stalled. From 2020 to 2022, David Corenswet's momentum slowed. No blockbuster roles, no tabloid buzz, no flashy headlines. For an actor who had just helped lead a major Netflix production, the silence was deafening. Critics started to whisper. Had Hollywood been a fluke? Was Corenswet destined to stay in the indie lane, respected, but not remembered? He did pick up roles, good ones even. A thoughtful turn in HBO's We Own This City, a quiet presence in A24's Pearl, and a romantic lead in Netflix's Look Both Ways. But none of them pushed him back into the spotlight. Not like Hollywood had. And in an industry that moves at the speed of virality, even a short pause can feel like a permanent fade. But behind the scenes, the biggest role of his life was already taking shape. In 2024, everything changed with one headline. David Corenswet was cast as the new Superman in James Gunn's DC reboot. Just like that, a name many still struggled to pronounce was suddenly on every front page in Hollywood. The news hit while he was filming Twisters, a big-budget action reboot. His castmates, Glenn Powell, Katie O'Brien, and Brandon Perea, learned about it on set and broke into celebration. The moment went viral, showing Corenswet grinning as the cheers rained in. It was genuine, surreal, unscripted. But here's what most people missed. This wasn't a fluke. Corenswet had beaten out seasoned A-listers and fan-favorite frontrunners for the role. Insiders called it one of the most fiercely contested casting decisions in recent superhero history. Why him? Some say it was his look, the chiseled jaw, the retro charm, the uncanny resemblance to a young Christopher Reeve. Others pointed to his quiet intensity, his on-screen presence, and the depth he brought to every role, even the small ones. Whatever the reason, one thing was clear. He was now Clark Kent, and the expectations were sky high. But wearing the suit is only half the battle. Carrying its legacy is the real test. Becoming Superman isn't just about getting cast. It's about stepping into a myth. Christopher Reeve, Brandon Routh, Henry Cavill. Every name carries weight. Every performance gets dissected. And now, David Corenswet's name is etched into that lineage. Like it or not, he's become the face of hope, strength, and truth, on and off screen. But this version of Superman, it's not just another reboot, it's a reset. Director James Gunn has hinted at a more human, optimistic, and bright take on the character. And Corenswet, he's all in. In interviews, he said, "I'd love to see someone do a bright, throwback version of Superman. It's a clear contrast to the dark, brooding tone of recent years. And he's not alone in that hope." Former Superman Brandon Routh praised the reboot's lighter tone, calling it inspiring. Still, fan reactions are divided. Some are ready for a fresh take. Others question if Corenswet can carry the weight of an entire cinematic universe on his back. He's not just fighting villains now. He's fighting legacy, expectation, and years of DC misfires. But maybe that pressure is exactly what's shaped him. For most actors, Superman is the peak. For David Corenswet, it's just the latest chapter in a career built on constant reinvention. From sketch comedy on YouTube to leading Netflix dramas. From theatre kid to executive producer. From near obscurity to wearing the cape of America's most iconic superhero. He's never stuck in one lane. He evolves, adapts, pivots, and that's what makes him dangerous, in the best way. He's not banking on one look, one type, or one genre. He's quietly learned every part of the machine, from writing to producing to navigating fame without burning out. While others chased viral fame, Corenswet focused on craft. And now, that work ethic is his edge. In many ways, his path mirrors the version of Superman fans have been asking for. Grounded, hopeful, a little old school, but built for right now. He didn't crash land into Hollywood. He built his own launchpad. So what does that mean for the future of Superman? It all comes down to one thing. David Corenswet wasn't the obvious choice. He wasn't the loudest, the flashiest, or the most talked about. He didn't come in with a billion-dollar franchise or a viral breakout. But maybe that's exactly why he's the right Superman. Because this isn't just a story about fame. It's a story about persistence, about trusting the long game, about showing up over and over, even when no one's watching, until everyone is. He's not just playing a hero, he's lived the quiet grind it takes to become one. And now, with the cape on his shoulders and the world watching, David Corenswet isn't just stepping into Superman's legacy, he's rewriting it. Consider liking and subscribing for more video like this. And if you like another Hollywood story, check out Where is Brendan Fraser Now?